the New Paradigm Institute. Now, the bio states the MPI's mission is to compel full and responsible unidentified aerial phenomenon disclosure from governments, private or public companies and individuals, and prepare the human family for the cultural shifts that will come with irrefutable evidence of extraterrestrial contact. What are those main cultural shifts? How do you think this is going to affect the way we live? Because come, October 18th, November, the way many people view the world or even live their lives may be totally different.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things that we're doing at the Institute is trying to get the people who are professionals in each of these areas to give us the details about what they genuinely believe will happen. What is the impact going to be? And a lot of it has to do with what kind of information is made available. Now, we know perfectly well that the national security state people are going to fight like mad, and so are the private aerospace corporations, to keep secret the technology, right? And that there's an energy source that the craft use to propel themselves for their propulsion, and it apparently has to do with electromagnetism. It's an extraordinary technology that they've got there that is able to put out tens of thousands of megawatts of power through this particular technology that they have. The reality is, if that technology becomes available to the world, that it immediately dispenses with the need to burn fossil fuels. Okay, and then you have to understand that the whole oil industry will go under. And the fact is that the petrodollar, the American petrodollar, the bottom will drop out of it completely because it's rooted in the value of petroleum. All right. And when the petrodollar, the American dollar, the bottom drops out of it, the whole international economic system is totally destabilized. And debts that are in petrodollars just disappear. Right. And religious institutions that are still insisting that the only direct link to the infinite and eternal is through a one or more people, whether it's Jesus Christ or whether it's the Buddha or Lao Tzu or Muhammad or whatever. The religious institutions that have been, I don't mean to be disparaging them, but have been dumbed down so far that they have a level of trying to teach people about religious reality that is at a second or third grade level, that they're going to have to up their game dramatically. They're going to have to say, okay, look at. There's a whole lot we haven't been telling you about, that we've all known about. We've got monks levitating at monasteries. We've got people who can transmute matter. We've got people who can walk on water. It isn't just Jesus Christ or these other people that have done these things. That our human family is capable of a lot more than we've been letting on to you. That there's a whole set of revelations that are going to have to be done. We're going to have to upgrade our entire understanding of the biophysics of our human bodies in order to not be in complete awe of these other beings who are displaying some of these capabilities. Now, these capabilities, from the point of view of the religious community, are inside Christian culture are referred to as the talents. These are the talents that are referred to. The saints display, and prophets display, these are in Eastern traditions they're called the siddhas. These are siddhas that are known to the great adepts display these kind of capabilities. But Jesus himself said that you will all do greater things than I. If you really understand, and he used to say things like, "It's not so important, what I'm saying. It's what I am. You guys have to understand what I am. And what he was a display of the capacities of our human family, of our human species, right? So that this is an extraordinarily important moment for religious institutions that need to come forward and say, okay, look, it's time for us to level with you. You know, we are a lot more capable than we've been telling you, okay? And that we know that we've been telling you that you have to have us act as intermediaries for you, that you're not really capable of having these kind of unistic experiences with infinite and eternal consciousness. You know, that it was too disruptive for you, or you didn't want to take enough time out of your busy day to bother doing it. But the bottom line is the religious communities are going to have to go through some fairly profound and dramatic updating of their knowledge that they're going to be sharing with people. Okay. And they're going to have to get beyond being so parochial, you know, that, okay, it's only the only beings that are capable of this kind of consciousness are just the adepts from our own particular religious tradition. They're going to have to acknowledge the legitimacy of the adepts and other religious traditions, human traditions, and they're going to have to be open to the fact that these are faculties that human beings can display and these other extraterrestrials can display, because they have to be extremely careful not to have people viewing the extraterrestrials as super saints of some sort.
Yeah.
They can't have them thinking these are angelic characters, so that whatever it is they say, they're just automatically going to do. Or you know, they're going to fall into praising the extraterrestrials because they can walk through walls, you know, or they can, you know, levitate. You know, that we've got to take care of our people here. We have to assist our people in getting ready for these kind of extraordinary encounters that people are going to be having. Now, that's not to deal with the more prosaic or mundane stuff of having to deal with the economic disruption of new technologies that are going to be coming in. You know, the geopolitical implications of this. You know, are we going to continue to maintain individually separate nation states here in attempting to deal with? Are we going to have individual nation states try to establish separate treaties, you know, with a star system? You know, are we going to have different treaties with different star systems? Do they have some sort of galactic federation that we can deal with as an entity, or do we have to deal with them separate? These are all fundamental questions that nobody gets into asking, much less answering, until they're completely convinced that it's true.
Yeah.
And as long as the national security state is pushing back and pretending it's not true, people they've got other stuff to do. You know, we don't have to get to this right now because the people in positions of authority haven't even acknowledged that it's true yet. So it's not okay.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe to the Freedom Pack channel and consider clicking here to watch another video that I think you'll enjoy.